Good morning, world. Good afternoon, world. This is John Pinto, your roving realtor, bon vivant, BMW enthusiast, home chef, and member at Inglenook Winery in Rutherford. And here I am today, untethering from my shelter in place at Porto Pinto. Ellen and I have been behaving ourselves over the last 3.5 months, not going too much of anywhere. I do miss some of my favorite venues. I miss the Blue Note in Napa for the jazz concerts, the Uptown Theater for rock and roll concerts, the Culinary Institute, and thank goodness Inglenook Winery is open now. So I just wanted to encourage all of you to come here. Francis Ford Coppola runs a great operation. First of all, if you're coming north on Highway 27, as soon as you see the double road sign that is 29 and 128, before you hit the Rutherford Grill, make a quick left right there. Make sure you don't run into the wine train. Now, I have not seen the wine train running for quite a while, so I don't think you have to worry about that. Right now, Inglenook is only open to members only, but certainly if you contact me, we certainly can make some kind of an arrangement. So in general, Francis Ford Coppola has a great attitude about keeping this property from getting inundated. As I mentioned, there is no branding from the street. You don't even know what it is. There is a big gate that's only accessible through key fobs that the members have, or a QR code if you're a guest of a member. And when the gates open up, you feel like they're the pearly gates and you're going into heaven. You drive down the very, very long driveway, surrounded by a variety of Cabernet Sauvignon grapes, Syrah grapes, Zinfandel grapes. You know, I'm not sure where all the grapes are planted. He's got the parking lot cordoned off so that there must be 20 feet between each parking space. And when you park there and you look to your right, you will see the chateau from 1887. The chateau went into operation in 1887. Just to give you a little background, Captain Gustav Niebaum, who had pretty much of a monopoly of the pelt trade in Canada, Alaska, and the west coast of California, he made a fortune. To give you an idea, he had $10 million in the bank when the United States was paying $7 million to buy Alaska from Russia. That was in 1879. He put the chateau into operation in 1887 and started winning awards right away. So right now, current day, Francis Ford Coppola has the great staff with David Gates, David Mayer, Kenton, Brooke, Stephanie, Eric, Richard, just a great crew of people, all walking around with masks, white gloves. It looks like they're part of a mime troupe. And there are no tastings going on inside the chateau. And if you read most of the reports, coronavirus is not really spreading much in outdoor venues. It's more indoor venues. And so the bistro has expanded to the area beneath the sycamore grove, a beautiful sycamore grove, in front of the chateau. And then the private tastings are taking place up the driveway outside of the old barrel room next to where the Tucker is. So typically their tastings are going to be starting off with their 2018 Blancano, which is usually equal parts Marsanne, Viognier, and Roussanne. And I like to call that the white wine for red wine drinkers. And I suggest you buy yourself a couple of bottles and head over to Restoration Hardware and order the Dover Sole. Make sure they still got the Dover Sole before you go there, but that is a nice pairing. Then they usually follow up with the 2017 Zinfandel, and that's a particular favorite of mine. It's not a jammy, peppery, overly fruit-forward Zinfandel. It's very almost Merlot-ish, very food-friendly, very affordable, And my particular favorite part about it is the label has the Bay of Naples, where my father departed after World War II, and the Statue of Liberty, which is what I used to see outside my bedroom window when I was growing up as a child. So Francis Ford Coppola has the same kind of roots, the Neapolitan roots that I have, leaving the Bay of Naples for New York Harbor, and that certainly is a good choice. Then I am drinking the 2017 Cabernet today, and I'm liking it. It's got good acidity. It's got some good minerality. And I'm also drinking the 2016 Rubicon. And I see David Gates gave me an extra treat. I haven't dived into the 2012 Rubicon. Now, I have a Excelsior membership here, as David Gates calls me, your Excelsiorship. And for what I consider to be my very modest commitment to buy a couple of cases of their high-end wine, they provide me with comp tastings for 6 people every day that they're open. Now, unfortunately, they are only open right now from Thursday through Sunday. I think the first tasting is at 10:30 a.m. and the last tasting is at 4 p.m. But whether you make arrangements for a private tasting or not, sitting in front of the bistro, either drinking a bottle of wine or by the glass, is a great idea. On Friday, Saturday, and hopefully before they run out on Sunday, they usually also have New Orleans-style muffaletta sandwiches with Italian cold cuts on ciabatta with Italian cheeses and Italian olive salad antipasto. Now, Sunday, you could be disappointed. They might not have it, but usually Friday and Saturday, they do have it. So what I want to emphasize is, if you haven't been sheltering in place, and despite all the imbeciles that I've seen running amok throughout the United States and not paying attention, most of my friends that I'm talking to have been sheltering in place. And this is one of the few venues where I feel safe to come out of my sheltering in place. So if you do want to get away, this is only about an hour and 15 minutes from Sacramento, San Jose, San Francisco, the East Bay. It's like heaven on earth. Usually what I like to do is I like to come here at 1:30 in the afternoon. And recently I bought 31 bottles of the Demis, the 375 half bottles. Prior to that, I had bought 60 bottles of the Demis, and they fit good in my messenger bag with my video blogging rig, my Shure microphone, and I can usually get 3 Demis in there. What else do I need? Video blogging and 3 Demis. So I'll usually do a vertical tasting on the patio with my friends. Most recently, my favorite vertical tasting has been the 2010 Cabernet Sauvignon, the 2011, the 2012. If you come here, my understanding is they do have some 750s of the 2011, what is the most controversial wine in the winery. That was a very cool year, the first year of the new winemaker, Philippe. He had his challenges, and I have more of a savory palate than a sweet palate, and that wine is extremely savory. It's got a lot of barnyard going, and a lot of people don't like that barnyard thing. But my Scotch of choice is Lagavulin 16, which is very leathery, earthy, peaty, smoky, and the Cabernet Sauvignon 2011 has a lot of those components. I think it would pair well with any kind of offal, or as Ellen calls it, offal, tongue, beef hearts, tripe, bone marrow, etc., etc. However, I have not been indulging in that very much. Last year, my uric acid was 9.2, and I got gout in my 2 feet, and it exploded on me. I think I was down for 2 months, sitting in my Chase lounge. Most recently, my doctor was complaining to me that my uric acid was 7 instead of 6, the normal, and I did remind him that it went down from 9.2 to 6. So I don't think I'm going to be drinking the Cabernet Sauvignon 2011 with offal anytime soon. But I do encourage you to check the website and visit Inglenook, and it is by all means my favorite venue. I probably am at Inglenook, as they will tell you, more often than I am at every other venue in the world combined. If I can be here, I'll usually be hanging from 1:30 to 3 doing vertical tastings on my library demis, and then taste the current vintage from 3 to 5. And this is my preferred real estate office, so if you want to talk about buying, selling, exchanging any Bay Area real estate, this is where we would meet. And of course, the meeting is going to take 3.5 hours over various bottles of Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, the Blancano, the Zinfandel, and what have you. So if you do need to meet or discuss the purchase or sale or exchange of any property, feel free to message me on Facebook or on my cell phone, 408-829-4141. And now I'm going to get back to these 3 glasses of wine that I have in front of me to finish up. So thank you for watching, and see you at Inglenook.